everyone, and welcome back to the Words Whispered. As usual, everything in this video is alleged. Well, you all, we have an update on the Chris and Queen situation. Janay, for those of you who are new here to this story and have just stumbled upon them, Janay at one time was the manager of all the black YouTube, it felt like, minus Deera and Ken. She managed Chris and Queen. She managed DMB Nation. She managed Armand and Trey. Quay and Lala for one moment were with her. Who else? I think Carmen, Corey, Neek, and King. I'm just Ari or Ari. I don't remember. Is it Ari? Ari? I don't know. It's her daughter. Trey and Chris. The whole Vine and M, or M and Vine, whatever their names were, all of them were under Janay at one point. Now, years ago, and I've talked about this before, they were called out for doing fake pranks back when they were signed under Janay. The first bunch of people, so the Chris, Queen, DMB Nation, Armand and Trey, Perfect Labs at the time, that group were called out for doing fake pranks. I've talked about this before, where Troy's I'm Dante and Your Rage kind of exposed it back then. So here we are today with an update. As you all may know, because I've talked about this, if you're on my channel, you probably have seen this. Chris, Queen, and Clarence are having a moment again on social media over on mostly Twitch and TikTok. And Janay is speaking out. And I have noticed from the beginning that Chris kind of allows himself to look like the bad guy in his relationship and the downfall of his relationship between himself and Queen. Now, I don't know why he allows himself to look like the bad guy, but it's clear that he does. And if you've been following this drama long enough, you remember when, what was her name? Miss Bars was going live, and Chris's family, like his mom and grandmother and whatnot, were joining the lives and giving interviews and just like telling what they knew about the situation. And if we think far enough back, we remember when Queen's former friends from Michigan also spoke out about their dynamic and whatnot. The point of the matter is, a few people who have known them personally have said that Queen was not completely innocent in the downfall of their relationship, the way she tries to portray herself to be. We have heard about the cheating on both sides. Chris is the only one whose feet is held to the fire because of it, but we've heard about it from both sides. And so Janay has now joined into the conversation. And she basically, in so many words, is saying, is saying that the breakup videos were planned. What she is alleging is that the videos were planned and they had a whole script they were following. And I'm going to make sure I insert the footage. She has a video on her TikTok page. I think it's like 6-7 minutes long. Between 6 and 8 minutes long. I am going to post a screen grab of her TikTok. Go watch the video over there. I'm not putting the video over here. Go give her views. It's not that long. You got less than 10 minutes. You have less than 10 minutes to spare. Go watch it on her channel. But she does show text messages between her and the couple, or former couple, Chris and Queen, showing timelines in terms of what videos to film, when to film them, how dramatic to be in the videos to make it look real, all kinds of things. Now, once again, this is all alleged, but that's what she's showing over on her TikTok. And she says she's going to continue the series and continue to expose more, because she has even said there's a part that Chris is not telling. And I just really wish that Chris would come out. I know why he probably doesn't want to, because they still have a kid together. So I think that there's a part of him that's still trying to preserve Queen's image on the internet in that way. But I wouldn't preserve anything. She's not preserving yours. But yeah. And the interesting thing is the way Janay is saying it, my opinion, is what I'm getting from what she's saying, is she said there was some truth, but some of it was embellished. So I think that both of them were cheating on each other. I do not think this was a one-way cheatation, like you all are trying to make it seem like Chris was doing all this cheating and then Queen only cheated to get back at him. I do not think that that's what happened. Once again, this is my opinion, because we know Queen was cheating on Chris allegedly when they were in Detroit. This is not something that just started with Clarence. We know this allegedly. So my thought process is they were cheating back and forth, and Chris got caught by the public. I do not think that it's a situation where Chris cheated and then Queen finally had enough. That's not what I think. I think that he got caught by the public when Yelena, Jada, and I think Jada's sister's name was Maya. I couldn't think of the other girl's name the last video, but I think it was Maya. When they got Yelena to call Chris on FaceTime, and they were like over in the corner recording from their phones, so you could see him talking to Yelena provocatively, basically, but Chris couldn't tell that he was being recorded. I think that they were cheating on each other, and I think that it was more of an, by that point, I do feel like it probably was more of an open relationship. I think that it was more of a, this is our dynamic, and I think that Chris got caught by the public. And then, so I do think that part was true. I think the situation with Yelena FaceTiming him unknowingly and it getting leaked to social media, I do think that that part was true. All of those videos in September of 2017 where she was leaving and she went to Michigan to pretend she filed for divorce and all of that stuff, I'm alleging, must have been part of the script. Because at one point, she sort of goes back. And then the girls' trip happens in December. We know that girls' trip, we found out eventually that girls' trip was for her to go to New York to meet Clarence, allegedly. It was not about a girls' trip. She just needed an excuse to go to New York. I'm just Ari. We need you to talk about that girls' trip. I know that you became ordained and whatnot. Girl, forget that. We need you to come out and talk about that girls' trip, because that's where the real tea unfolds. And then Clarence saying, now that I'm thinking about this, Clarence came out the other day and said that Chris was upset. He tried to come to New York to get Queen or something like that, allegedly. If, from Chris's perspective, this was all planned and the goal was for Queen to come back and for them to be anew, basically, I could understand why he would be caught off guard by the fact that she's now laid in the basement with somebody else. And I don't know why people are trying to make it a big deal that he cried about a divorce. A divorce, some people say, is like a death. And the reality is, when people get married, usually they get married under the understanding that this is the only time they'll be married. Because you're expecting to be with that person forever. And at any age, having to come to terms that, wow, this person is not my forever, that has to be hard. So I don't think that that's anything worth laughing or poking fun at. I just don't. But that's all I have for you all today. I recommend you go check out Janay's TikTok page. We're going to see how much information she gives us, because I'm going to be tuned in, Janay, so you better give it all. And yeah, I'm not surprised because I kind of knew this already. But apparently all of those videos before she left for New York, between her and Chris, the back and forth, were planned, allegedly. Goodbye.